a AP history teacher from Rockland High School here in California, was suspended with pay for comments she made to her class on the eve of the national walkout. She dared to suggest, apparently, that maybe, just maybe, the administration might be a little less welcoming if, for example, students wanted to walk out for 17 minutes to, for example, protest abortion. Please welcome to the show Julianne Bensel. Ms. Bensel, thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's my pleasure. You've been teaching some 20 years at the same school?
20 years, same school.
Never been suspended before?
No, I have an unscathed record.
Yeah, I'm hearing wonderful things about you as a teacher. Now, first of all, how did you find out that you were being suspended with pay?
Well, I didn't find out for a very long time, actually. Well, first, that first initial phone call, 8:30 a.m. on the day of the protest, I found out that I was on leave. I was on administrative leave, but they didn't tell me it was paid, and they didn't tell me why. And then I kept calling throughout the day. About 3 hours later, I received a generic letter from the district saying I was on leave and it was paid, but there were still no stipulations as to why. And then a news reporter knocked on my door about 3 p.m. and I was very unsuspecting. Nothing like this has ever happened, of course, to me. So I opened my door and that evolved into an interview. And I said, well, I'm kind of presuming that maybe this is why. But she goes, well, I have a statement here from the district. So basically the district office told her why I was on leave without bothering telling me. So I found out from the news reporter. So and it was the reasons, I presume. They said that there were some complaints about the discussion that I had in class.
So until you found out that there were some complaints about the discussion you had in class, Ms. Bensel, you had no idea why you were being suspended with pay.
I had no idea, except, like I said, I presumed that maybe, I didn't think it was parents and students complaining. I just thought my administrator did not want me on campus that day, which I think might be the undercurrent story here, because, how I dare, maybe suggest that this could happen for another group of students on a different issue. It's just, there's literally the evidence that they gave me was 2 students and 1 parent. There may be more, but the written documented evidence was 2 students and 1 parent. And I just find that such a minuscule piece of evidence to justify a 20-year unscathed teaching career being put basically, on leave. Let's keep it real, right? When you hear of a teacher being put on administrative leave, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? This is like, you're thinking,
whatever it is, whatever it is, it's not good. Now you have 120 some students, and it turns out only 1 complained.
2 students complained and 1 parent. Mm-hmm. And they did not bother corroborating these 2 students and 1 parent with any other of my other students, or hey, how about you ask me what happened too?
and Ms. Bensel, you've been teaching at Rockland High School in Sacramento now for 20 years. Do you have a reputation of being somebody that kind of pokes at authority? Is that your MO?
No, I don't poke at authority. I do question. I believe in the California State Framework, it's actually mandated that I teach my students to think critically, and so I'm always trying to have thought-provoking discussions. And are you telling us with a straight face that you actually are teaching and you're allowing your kids to think for themselves, and you're giving your kids the other points of view to consider before they make up their own mind? Is that what you're telling us, Ms. Bensel? I know, it's just outrageous, isn't it?
So have they backed down? Have they apologized to you? What's the status now?
You know what? They have not apologized, that's fine. They don't have to apologize. They have reinstated me. The outpouring of support is genuinely, unbelievably overwhelming. I think because of the backlash of this community, they wanted me to go back into the class on Friday. But this 2-day suspension was on Wednesday and Thursday. And of course, they turned my world upside down. So I'm like, I am not prepared. You just wreak havoc on me. I'm not prepared to come back. So I went back today. My students are definitely my first priority, but literally my mind was, there's no way I could have gone back on Friday. I was not in a good place.
Well,
so I had to I did take a mental health day.
Well, I guess, Ms. Bensel, essentially they've apologized to you if they put you on paid administrative leave and then took you off paid administrative leave and said, please come back to work. They're all but saying it was pointless.
Yeah. I really am not understanding what exactly the point was. But I would just suggest, I would love for the narrative to turn a bit and the story honestly focus away from me to the greater issue of would a group of students with a different point of view that maybe was less popular or, not as politically correct, would they genuinely be allowed? I kind of want my original question answered. So I'm just kind of throwing that out there and hopefully keeping the dialogue going in that direction that, this is obviously clearly a misstep on their part, and I can handle that for me personally, but if I'm going to continue to teach and other educators are continuing to teach, then are we going to allow, public education to be...
That's an excellent point.
Yeah.
Ms. Benzel, thank you very much for taking the time. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Godspeed.
You're listening.